Welcome to Cosmic Compass, where we journey together through the mysteries of space and the stories of exploration that shape our understanding of the universe. Today, let's follow Opportunity, the little rover that defied the odds as it uncovers proof of ancient water, stumbles upon a rock that seemed to appear from nowhere, and even witnesses a cosmic visitor from the farthest edge of our solar system. What did this tireless machine see on Mars? And what do its discoveries mean for us here on Earth? Let's find out. The date was May 17th, 2013. More than 3,000 sols had passed since Opportunity first rolled onto the Martian surface. By this time, the rover had already given us years of remarkable science, but on this day it stumbled upon perhaps the most significant discovery of its entire mission. After kilometres of travel, Opportunity had reached the rim of a vast crater. There, cutting across the ground, it found something extraordinary, a pale vein of rock that scientists named Esperance. What made Esperance so important? This vein turned out to be hydrated clay. On Earth, such clays can only form if they spend a long time beneath standing water. This wasn't evidence of a brief flood or a flash of running water. It was the silent, preserved fingerprint of an ancient body of water, possibly a lake, maybe even part of a larger ocean. Up to this point, Opportunity had hinted at water's presence on Mars, but never quite like this, until Esperance the rover had only found signs of short-term flooding. This time it had uncovered something much deeper, proof that Mars once hosted water for long, stable periods. Imagine what that means for the history of life itself. Even after Esperance Opportunity's mission was far from over, controllers back on Earth already had their sights set on a new goal, Solander Point, roughly 1.5 kilometres to the south. Why Solander Point? Two reasons made it attractive. First, Martian winter was approaching. Sunlight was fading both in length of day and the low angle of the sun in the sky. To survive, Opportunity needed every scrap of energy. Solander Point's slopes faced north, meaning the rover's solar panels could tilt toward the sun and catch more light. Second orbiters circling above Mars suggested that Solander Point's rocks held layers rich with hydrated minerals waiting to be studied, but 1.5 kilometres is no small task for a rover that crawls at a maximum of just 2 centimetres per second. In fact, to stay safe, it often moved at half that speed. Each advance meant stopping scanning the terrain, avoiding hazards, then creeping forward again. On its way, Opportunity encountered strange ground, large chunks of rock, with flat, smooth tops separated by fine sand and dust. The surface resembled a mosaic, a natural pattern laid down over millennia. For the rover, this was good news. Flat terrain was perfect for making progress. And much like in earlier parts of the mission, small round features appeared again, the so-called blueberries, little hematite-rich spheres scattered across the Martian soil. They served as reminders that the planet's surface had been shaped by water long ago. By Sol 3390, Opportunity finally reached Solander Point and began to explore, but survival here came at a cost. Power production dropped to precariously low levels, just 270 watt-hours per day. Any lower, and the rover would have entered a kind of hibernation, unable to carry out science at all. The culprit was both the Martian winter and the slow, relentless settling of dust onto the rover's solar panels. Without rain or moisture, Martian dust clings in thick blankets, blocking out precious sunlight. Days turned into weeks, with Opportunity scraping by on minimal energy. Then on Sol 3530, something wonderful happened, a cleaning event. Winds swept across the surface, blowing away the fine dust. Energy production surged back to 370 watt-hours. On Earth, it would be like wiping the cover of a dusty book. For Opportunity, it meant renewed life. We might think of Mars as silent and still, but these cleaning winds were nature's way of keeping the little rover alive. Without them, Opportunity would never have survived nearly as long as it did. Of course, even with renewed power, the rover's journey was never without problems. Around Sol 3519, while examining a surface target, a calibration error crept in. The distance mesh used by the rover was misaligned by about 5 centimetres. As a result, its instruments took blurry images, and its spectrometer failed to read the target properly. Mission controllers quickly corrected the error, and Opportunity soon returned to sending back crisp, detailed pictures. But not long afterward, something appeared that sparked far more intrigue. A patch of ground Opportunity had imaged suddenly showed a strange new rock. Between one set of photos and the next, a stone had materialized seemingly out of nowhere. Scientists named it Pinnacle Island. At first glance, it looked like a mystery from science fiction, a rock that appeared overnight. Online speculation ran wild. Was it a meteorite fragment? Was it some kind of Martian fungus? Some even joked it was a message from aliens. There was enough uproar that a lawsuit was filed against NASA for not investigating the rock more thoroughly. The reality turned out to be far more ordinary and perhaps even more fascinating. As Opportunity continued its work, it became clear the rover itself had accidentally cracked and displaced the rock with one of its wheels. The tracks in the soil gave it away. Pinnacle Island wasn't an alien gift, but a reminder that even a gentle rover could reshape Mars in small ways. Still, the episode captured public imagination, and it showed just how closely people were following Opportunity's every move. But the rover's challenges were mounting. Another persistent problem emerged: random computer resets. At first, each reset was little more than an annoyance, wasting a day of science. But by Sol 3749, the resets had caused Opportunity to lose nearly half a month of valuable data. The issue was traced to its flash memory. After thousands of uses, certain cells of the memory had become unstable. The risk was growing that new photos or data could vanish before ever reaching Earth. The solution was bold reformat the entire drive. This would wipe all data still stored on board, but would also isolate the bad cells and prevent the rover from using them again. By Sol 3973, the reformat was complete. Opportunity was back and once more ready for science. For a machine nearly a decade into a mission planned to last just 90 days, it was a testament to resilience both of the rover and the engineers guiding it from millions of kilometres away. As Opportunity pressed on to Dowiak Ridge, something unexpected was approaching from the farthest reaches of the solar system. A comet born in the icy Oort cloud far beyond Pluto was plunging inward on its long orbit toward the Sun. Its name, Comet Siding Spring. This comet was racing through space at 56 kilometers per second. Its path would bring it astonishingly close to Mars, just 130,000 kilometers above the surface, a fraction of the distance between Earth and the Moon. For spacecraft at Mars, this was both a rare opportunity and a genuine danger. Dust particles shed by a comet's tail travelling at such speeds could easily damage or even destroy orbiters circling the planet. Mission controllers prepared positioning spacecraft to watch and hopefully to avoid harm. Here on Earth, we could only observe faintly, but Opportunity, along with orbiters like Mars, Reconnaissance Orbiter, and even Hubble, in Earth's orbit, had front row seats. Just before dawn, on the Martian surface, the rover managed to snap images of the comet hanging faintly in the sky. To the untrained eye, it looked like little more than a smudge, but in truth, it was a visitor from the edge of the solar system. And Siding Spring didn't just pass quietly. As it swept by the comet's vast coma, a halo of gas and plasma stretching 1,000,000 kilometers engulfed Mars. For a few hours, Mars and the comet's magnetic fields merged, colliding in chaotic interaction. Mars's weak, induced magnetic field, already fragile, was thrown into turmoil. The planet's upper atmosphere lost particles to space, stripped away by the charged interactions. Imagine, for a brief moment, two worlds shared, the same invisible envelope, their atmospheres brushing against each other across the void. For Opportunity, none of this was directly felt. The rover simply snapped its images and carried on. But for scientists, it was a cosmic encounter, unlike anything ever observed at Mars. With the comet fading into the distance, Opportunity's mission pressed on. The next goal lay ahead, Marathon Valley. The name was no coincidence. By the time the rover reached it, Opportunity would have travelled the distance of a full marathon on Mars, over 42 kilometres. For a machine never expected to travel more than a kilometre or two, it was a remarkable milestone. More than that, it symbolised humanity's determination to keep pushing further, even with the most fragile of machines on the harshest of worlds. And so this chapter of Opportunity's journey closes. From the hydrated clays of Esperance to the mysterious Pinnacle Island to the breathtaking passage of a comet from the Oort cloud, the rover had weathered another season of challenges and triumphs. If you've just joined us, this story is part of a longer journey, one where each discovery adds a piece to the puzzle of Mars's history. Be sure to explore the earlier chapters in this series to see how Opportunity got here. As always, we at Cosmic Compass thank you for watching and for joining us on this voyage through the cosmos. And now let's prepare for the next chapter, where Opportunity faces new terrain, new mysteries, and reaches that symbolic milestone at Marathon Valley. Because out there, every step taken by this tiny rover is also a step forward for us all. Opportunity's journey reminds us of something profound. Even the smallest explorer crawling slowly across a distant world can change how we see the cosmos forever. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to join us again as we continue tracing Opportunity's path into Marathon Valley and beyond. And if you're curious about the earlier steps of this mission, check out the other episodes in our series. Here at Cosmic Compass, we bring you closer to the wonders of the universe, one story at a time. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next chapter in humanity's exploration of the stars. Until then, keep looking up, because the cosmos is full of stories waiting to be told.